Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rune here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video, and today we'll be going over my infinite Digi-Mags Zane build. This is a Zane build focused on Zane's Digiclone ammo regen anoint, as well as sometimes using Terra ammo regen to just go spray and pray. Just hitting everything, never having to reload, to sometimes having to reload, to just kind of really watching your ammo. This is mainly for heavy use, ammo hungry weapons like the Sandhawk, sometimes the Monarch or Light Show, or just multiplayer weapons like the ×8 Monarch is something that you don't see much, but this works really well in here. So ×2 crit, ×2 free radical, ×6 Trevinator, ×2 boogeyman. Very strong, and then tons of combinations and choices that you can do, tons of gear options for your weapons and class mod. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the build. I'm also live on Twitch pretty often if you want to go there, and if you like this build video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, and now for the gear. Here I have some dull weapons. This is just like this specific type because we are using a company man. Mainly cryo is what I choose. Sometimes I choose corrosive, but mainly want to match elements for all these guns. I like to use cryo just because I'm using executor. But here we have a Sandhawk, a Torrent, a Sleeping Giant, and a Surrender. Of course, all using Digiclone and Regen, as that's what this build is about. Most of these are weapons that don't really need a second anoint, or are so ammo hungry that without it, you can barely use it. This can also be used just with guns that don't specifically need it, but it's fun to use it with. Like here I have an OPQ right here. There's nothing synergistic with it, but I just find it fun to have with it. And then let's go through all the other weapons. Here I have a Light Show, a Replay, a Tizzy. Now it doesn't stop you from reloading the overheat, but it does help sustain that ammo. If you want to use Tizzy, I'd say use Points and Cool Hand instead, and other places in the skill tree when I go over it. You'll see what I'm talking about when I talk about skill tree flexibility. But yeah, Tizzy is fun, but it does have that problem. Free Radical is one of those things where it's just strong. It doesn't have a synergy with not reloading. So here I have a ×1 and ×2, both do good. I'd like that I can use more pellets than regular meta does, just because it's kind of fun to use once you usually don't. At some points, it's actually stronger. Like the Free Radical ×2 sometimes feels stronger than ×1. I didn't test enough to where I could tell exactly, but they're both very strong, of course, as they're the Free Radical. But so let's say you find a ×2 one, you can use it on this build. And here I have a Torrent ×2 as well. I like to mix between the two. It just depends on how I'm feeling, if I want to watch my ammo or not. Crit ×2 here, ×1 works as well. All of these that have like the more pellets, the regular one works just as well. Here I have a flipper to keep up that effect of holding down the trigger. EMP5 just for move speed. Needle gun just kind of more fun and keeping its stacks up more. And getting to that max stacks. Nothing too synergistic. It's just to have more tedier guns. Because I have an Anarchy somewhere in here. And then Monarch, we have a ×4 and a ×8. I found ×8 personally to be better, but ×4 works just as well. OPQ again, nothing synergistic, just kind of fun. Super Stratifier works really well in this. I'd say it's like A tier gun. With this build, it's pretty well. Anarchy, just so you don't have to reload. This keeps up the stacks here, and no risk of reload, and then getting canceled of it, and then losing your stacks. Trevinator, it's just more ammo hungry, so we do that. Takesman Shield's a fun one. I'd say it's around high B tier. But it's viable. It works, mainly if you're hitting crits. You see here it's got 46% crit. That's a higher card crit than regular stuff. It works well. You just gotta get up some kills and then you reload once. I think it was max at 15 kills is max damage it gets. And then I have some more Sandhawks here for elemental typing. I like to use more element matching for Guardian Takedown, as that's higher enemies, and then of course bossing. Liudo works pretty well. I have a ×1 here. ×2 works as well. Stalker, it can be pretty ammo hungry because it shoots 2 ammo per shot, and it's not the strongest, so I like using it on here. Boogeyman is insane. It's such a strong gun. ×1 and ×2 both work really well. With ×2, you want to watch your ammo a bit more, but with ×1, you can just full on shoot. Don't have to worry about reloading. And that's it we have for the guns. And then for the shield, we use Revolter. You see here we have a Terror Inner Regen one because we have sub weapons are more ammo hungry than other ones. So we have Terror just in case, and then we'll be using an Infiltrator to break our Revolter. I don't find it as too much. Maybe like the ×2 weapons and the Sandhawk, you'll use this, but you can still do it without the Terror Regen. You just kind of have to watch your ammo more. So using this is more kind of like free to just kind of hold down left click and never let go. But it's not needed. I like to do it sometimes if I like to just go off more. And then for the grenade, we use an It's Piss, but you could use like a Mesmer Hex as well. It's mainly for the ASC radiation, for red explosions, which will be also boosted by our Executor here. But yeah, grenade doesn't really matter. I just have a low level one, so bonus elements from it don't kill me. And then here we have an Executor, and then we have Infiltrator. For the Executor, for the rolls, I'd say try and get points of good misfortune and playing dirty. I just kind of had these skills here already. And the Executor skills, they're all good. See here, these are my only points in Violent Violence, just because we don't want to have too much fire rate, but I'll go over that in a bit. And then here we have, I would say the main ones you want is shotgun damage, so weapon type, and then mag size. And then you have area radius. This is what I prefer for hollow point and red explosions, just to help kill things more. Manufacturer crit helps as well, especially more on the Infiltrator. I chose not to have any just because of inventory space. That's also a choice. And then Spy works as well, just because of the skills it rolls is really good. But I like to choose Executor for higher damage. This is mainly if you want to insta-freeze stuff with Arm and Flint, because we don't get it in our skill tree. Anti-freeze also works if you want to do skill start stuff and you just like to run fast instead of hitting crits. And then Seeing Dead works for uptime, but it doesn't give you any damage, so it's not helpful there. And then for the artifacts, we use Company Man's just for everything. If you didn't want to stick to a one manufacturer, you could use an Icebreaker and then specifically always use cryo guns. And then you'll have that up. and that'll work really well. But I use Company Man because it also gives bonus mag size on top. And then I have crit damage and gun damage. You could get like fire rate too, but that's just more risk of reloading. Fire rate will all be down to how you prefer and what guns you use if it can sustain that fire rate. But this build setup is more for generalists, so you could use like any gun and you don't have to worry too much. So that's what we have here. You'll see I do damage, max size, and crit damage, and then area effect, actually go cooldown and max size. Elemental damage also works, and move speed for Zane on the Company Mans. Using Executor, I'd say cryo damage, especially if you're using cryo guns, of course. I like having active school cooldown for when I use Infiltrator, so I can have more cooldown because we're losing topped off. Yeah, all these guns work really well and play tested them all. They're all really fun. And then for the skill tree here, we'll start at Purple Tree. Basic Purple Tree down here. Mana Focus, Headsman's Hands, Commitment, Fugitive. Now we don't take Deja Vu, even though it seems like it could be good. It takes from reserves, and so we don't want to be losing that ammo because I like having that reserved ammo for if I accidentally reload. I found this to be more detrimental than helping, so that's why I chose not to take it. So we have Domino Effect, gives a little bit of fire rate, doesn't hurt too much. Then here I get 2 points of Sheer Will and 1 of Eraser. Reason I chose this kind of weird skill set is I like Eraser and lining up shots, but the main power of Eraser is it double dips your on shot bonuses, or not on shot, on hit bonuses, sorry. And so that's why I only have 1 point, because that doesn't matter. We just kind of lose a little bit more of a multiplier, but I also really wanted Sheer Will. You could bounce these around as you like. I like having this so when clone goes down, we still have some more cooldown to get it back up, especially if we're using Infiltrator. Note that this doesn't work with Mantis. The stacks, this base duration here, this 10% does, but this 5% per stack does not apply to Mantis, which is unfortunate. Really helped us more. It's okay. Here I would say use Proliferation and No Way Out. I just don't like it as much, just because sometimes I use flash weapons and then accidentally shoot myself in the face. But this does help a lot, especially with Eraser, because you're going to be double dipping that through Eraser with the debuff. So I just kind of put on Colder Shoulder just because it's less bright for Mantis Cannon, and also some freezing when I'm using cryo guns. And that's basically what I would choose. And then Blue Tree, here we have Violent Speed, Cold Bore, Momentum. We miss out on Cool Hand because we're really going to be reloading, Salvation, and Seeing Red. And then I put 5 in Playing Dirty just because I didn't want any Violent Violence. We have some from our Klaus mod, but you can put some in there. I would say balance it out between the guns you use to make sure you don't have too much where you're always reloading or watching your ammo where it's very close, to where it feels sustainable and how you like it. It's all preference. And then again, for if you're using that Tizzy, and also the replay will still reload a bunch. So I'd say for those two, get some Cool Hand. Take it from either Cold Bore or Playing Dirty, because Playing Dirty doesn't help too much since we're usually still shooting pretty fast with full auto weapons like Sandhawk, Torrent, some Giant. And we're also using multi-pellets, some of them higher than others. So Playing Dirty doesn't activate too much, so you could put it through there. Or if you don't feel like you want the swap speed, then you can put it into Cool Hand. That's pretty much the flexibility. And then we have 3 in Good Misfortune and Death Falls Close. If using Seeing Dead, which I don't recommend, but it's comfortable, and you find a good Seeing Dead, you can use it. You only need 1 in Good Misfortune, just because of how Seeing Dead works, activating your kill skills, and then you can put it in anywhere in here. And then in Red Tree, we have Mag Size, of course, Borrowed Time, Duct Tape Mod, Donnybrook, Quick Breather. We have Fractal Frags. This is mainly for when we have to put Clone in combat, because usually we stick him away out of combat. But this will help, like throw a debuff or a Mesmer to get enemies kind of off him. A Hex for cryoing or Rad Explosions. That's mainly why we have this here. Then we have Old U for getting out, just in case. Like, usually don't want to do this because then you use your ammo region. But if you have to, Then we have old U here. Pocket full grenades for grenade regen for boom enhance, and then we have 2 points in supersonic man for some move speed and getting down the tree. Now we choose boom enhance instead of taking these points out and just going old U for the increased health and the duration, so it can survive more. I found this helps. This is definitely noticeable duration. This is up to 75% duration for this. I've noticed it, like I have to redo clone. Like the main part without that is I would just need to blow up clone because I would die. So this is very noticeable, and I recommend this. Schadenfreude I use because we don't want enemies going on clone, and then Doppelbanger if we need to blow up clone for any reason. And then we have nothing in green tree. And now again, I'll just kind of go over this. The main thing you'll do, I'll just kind of show this. This is what you do if you want to use ammo hungry weapons. So you have 48% ammo regen at max. This is what you're looking at here. That's pretty much what you want. Again, not too many weapons needed. Like Sandhawk, it kind of helps. I like doing it without it, but it also depends. Like if you're in higher content, sometimes you kind of need that more ammo to shoot more. Sometimes you don't. Replay's one of the ones I'd probably use Infiltrator, but you could probably do without it. But yeah, that's it for the gear and the skill tree. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A very strong build, as always, that I like to do. I don't like to do weak builds unless it's just some stupid meme. But yeah, tons of fun, viable everywhere. I really like it in Solder Shaft, but of course it can be anywhere. I've done it everywhere to make sure it can go anywhere. Yeah, this is also in the build docs if you want a written description of it. Save file will be down in the description. And again, if you haven't, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Peace.